Welcome to Live at the Loft. This is something we've been wanting to do for a really long time. So we've been putting a lot of stuff together. Troy, how long have we been doing this? We've been putting together artists, making albums, cutting songs.
3 or 4 years, I think now.
3 or 4 years we've been collecting our favorite people's music. And what we're going to do is we're going to share that with all of you guys. So we're going to have some fresh jams for a couple minutes. We're going to do some today's tips. We're going to feature an artist. We're going to build a song. So that's what's going to happen. So we're going to start off with some fresh jams. So here we go. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
I think
on
we're
the
gonna
tips.
be coming back with today's tip.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So here we go on today's tips. We'll be back with you in a second.
Hi, I'm Jamie Simon. This is today's drum tip. One of the big things that seems to be a big issue with the modern drum set is the fact that it's actually a whole bunch of instruments thrown together. So as we go to play it, something that becomes super important is actually balancing it out and getting it to sound right. Now, with modern techniques, we can put individual mics on it, but that's not always going to be how it is. And so the best thing to do is to be able to balance the actual kit to where it sounds like it's one instrument. The easiest way to do that is to get any kind of recording device, put it out in front of your drums a good way away from it so you can actually hear what you sound like. Because truthfully, behind the kit, you're projecting sounds out in a way, and what you hear back here when you're hitting is not what it sounds like out front. And it's important to know that because you may think everything sounds great and then you hear that recording. It'll be quite humbling to find that it's not exactly what you thought, and that happens a lot.
Today's tips with Jamie. For those of you that don't know who Jamie Simon is, we're going to do a little contest for you guys out there. So whoever can name the most bands that Jamie was in, I will give them 50 CMFA picks that were given to me by Kelly and Monica. So here's one right here. So CFA, I don't know if you can see that, but anyways, there's a pick right there. Oh, we can't see it. Oh well, there's a pick. Anyways, whoever can name the most.
Yeah, because Jamie's in 85% of Fort Wayne's bands.
Yeah.
So
he's
if you've been to a show in Fort Wayne, Jamie was probably drumming.
Which is going to lead us into our next segment, which is Build a Song. And we used Jamie Simon for this. What we're going to do with this is, if you guys are capable and want to throw down a bass track or guitar track, keyboard track onto this lick, and we're gonna turn it into a song. So so check it out, and here we go.
Okay, so right now we're going to try to build a song. I'm going to lay down the foundation for it, and what I'm going to do is 8-bar phrases, and those 8-bar phrases will be soft and then loud, soft and then loud, and see what you can put with this. Try something with that.
So let's build a song, and that one was with Jamie Simon. Check out our website. It's thephoenix.com.
ThePhoenixRecords.com.
ThePhoenixRecords.com. And for more information on what to do with that. We're moving on to our last segment tonight, which is our featured artist spotlight. So tonight is Steve Mandy.
And I remember when we first started talking about doing the studio, you said, I already have the first band in mind, and it was The Humanity. And I have been a fan since then. Since the first time I heard them, The Truth. This is I'd have to say it's my favorite Humanity song. Of course, Jamie is the drummer in the Humanity, so we've got the Jamie trifecta doing our today's tip, doing the Build a Song, and also being the drummer from the Humanity, of course.
You know, funny thing about the Humanity, I like the Humanity a lot. I like it so much. A good buddy of mine, Tim Mangus, was like, "Let's do a Humanity cover band." And so we put a Humanity cover band with all the Humanity players except for Aaron, who was the lead singer and the songwriter of the band, who moved to Chicago. And then we went out and played a gig with him in Chicago. And then I guess we became the Humanity band again. So I'm very fortunate to be able to play some rhythm guitar and a little lead with these guys, and very thankful that they let me jam with them. So the song tonight's going to be The Truth. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, probably the only time a tribute band turned into the band that it was tributing. Maybe in history. I don't know. If not, let us know if there's another example of that throughout the course of modern history.
Well, that's the truth.
I thought the band had been around a lot longer than it was when I joined the band.
We did 27 gigs doing mostly original material with no bass player playing more than 2 gigs in a row.
Yeah.
And spent the whole time teaching a new bass player.
And they're strapped to an angel with relative lives. Retakes lost on the stupid.
Blowing was the song because we were playing heavy metal basically, and I came into rehearsal with, I think it was Blowing and one other song.
This is the tribute band.
And played those songs for the band, and we started to learn them, and I think it was within weeks that Bobby had quit.
That's right.
And it just caused us to completely rethink it. So we didn't have a drummer and we didn't have a bass player. I can't remember how we lost the drummer. But we had done this thing where the original singer in the band was Skippy, and we used to just do a workout, a very pretty much X-rated kind of jam that we called buttocks, and it was just something that we did to warm up and mess around with. And we had a recording of it that was, you know, it was fairly well done. I think Steve did it, Steve Wright, and we ended up getting on a compilation disc. But we didn't have a band, so we were kind of like, well, we do now, and that's when we started looking for people to do it. But yeah, the song ended up being the kickoff of the band. But Blowing was actually written first. I mean, every song just kind of happens, and they change over the years too. So a song that, you know, I think we might like for a while, years later we'll be playing it and it slips back for something else that kind of pops up. There was a point where I don't think we played Chicks and Guns and Fire Trucks for 10 years, you know, and just a few years ago we brought that out again, and we use it as a closer a lot because it's got that kind of energy and it's the way it sounds right now. But I mean, there's probably 50 songs in the catalog altogether, or at least parts of songs, but at least 45 or so that we could pull on.
There's a glaze in my eyes.
Live, you're just worried about the moment, and I think that's when our songs are their best, when everybody is playing right in that moment. That's why we get a little bit of leeway in how we play. So you just never know what you're gonna get.
There's a glaze in my eyes. And I feel like she plays with the soaked air, smiles as she twists her hair. You thought I lied before. All these years in talk, everyone convinced but you. with me tonight. Run away while you still can. I'm talking to a funky businessman. From a window in that wall, all these years of talk, everyone convinced but you. Bleeding death, had enough, don't talk now. Maybe the truth lies in time. Sit with me tonight. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na na. All these years they talk, bleeding death, had enough, don't talk now. Maybe the truth lies this time. Sit with me tonight.
That was The Truth by The Humanity, one of my all-time favorites. I'm glad you guys got to join us tonight. We're going to do this every week. Next week, our featured artist spotlight will be Duke Tomato. We have some stuff from our living room series downstairs in the Phoenix. Maybe you guys were doing that. Maybe we'll talk about doing that some more. And we're also planning on having guest artists actually come in, local folk come in and talk about their craft, talk about Fort Wayne and what they've done, where they've been. So that's going to be coming up in the future. We'll be talking about some equipment. Troy?
Yes, and we came up with a series of questions a while ago when we first had the idea of having a show based around music, and Dave knows too that we always wanted to get to the heart of what music meant to the people that were making it, and give them a chance to expand the experience a little bit, just beyond hearing the song, like maybe a little bit of insight into the person who made it. So we have these questions. The first question isn't relevant because it's about bands. But the second question is, what is the best musical advice that you've been given? And so I'll throw that question to you, Matt.
The best musical advice I've been given. It's always it's have fun. And I believe Kenny Taylor told me that first when I first started playing. When I was younger, him and Mark, one of my friends, Mark Schiller, brought him by, and first time I met him, and I was just blown away. And he asked me what I wanted to achieve with music, and I was, I just want to get good enough so I can play in bar bands around here, and it'd be able to play whatever I want. And he was like, if as long as you remember to have fun with it, it'll all serve you well.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. That's why Phoenix Records came about.
Yes.
So it's, we can't stop playing, we can't stop writing, so we're just gonna share what we're doing.
Excellent. What is the best advice in general?
For music,
In life, I think.
I think it's don't take it too serious.
That's good.
And for me, what I always go back to is the fact that we're hurling around on a giant rock, and this might be the only shimmer of light we ever see in this consciousness. So get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Do what you love. Be kind and nice to people. You know.
Yes, that's rock solid advice. I'd say the best advice that I wish I could remember the source, but it's something I've said to you before, and it applies to music too. It applies to everything. Done is the engine of more, and if you want to hone a craft, finishing something, and that's because that's the advice that I should have taken that's the advice that I wish I would have acted on longer ago, but if done is the engine of more. Do you remember your first live show?
Oh yeah, definitely. My first live show was Kiss Alive 2 at the Coliseum, and my brother really, really wanted to go, and I was young, and so my dad took us to it, and I was really young. Maybe I was 7 years old or something. I was young. My dad took us to it. It was the Coliseum, the old part. We were pretty high up, and I just remember him constantly shoving paper towels in my ears, trying to protect my ears and make it quiet. And I'll never forget it. It was a great show. It was with Peter Criss was still with him.
Yeah.
So it was probably the last tour when he was playing with them, I think.
Wow, the Catman.
Yep.
The most gripped by music you've ever been?
The most gripped by music I've
Yes.
ever been?
Yes.
Gosh, it happens all the time. All the time. I'll tell you the most recent one
That's good.
was hearing Brian Lemert play out at our farm and hearing the recording from it.
Yeah.
And Brian, Jamie, and G. O'Connor.
Yeah.
They played out there, and it was great when we watched it and everything live. When we went back and listened to the recording, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I listened to it 10 times in a row. And it was nice. How about you?
The one that sticks out to me is it was seventh grade, and there was like these traveling tropes that came, and I think it was like an anti-smoking thing, and they would act out scenes where they peer pressured into smoking or whatever, but then they played songs, and when they played Buddy Holly by Weezer, and when it gets to the part where it goes the guitar solo, and the chills that I still get chills just thinking about it, and I remember just looking around at people and just thinking that they would all be just blown away as I was, and they were less blown away, but I just remember thinking in that moment, that's what I want to do, and I've had that experience with music several times throughout my life, but that was one of the most iconic ones because I was waiting for that part of the solo to come up, and it's the last lick within the guitar solo, and they just pulled it off so perfectly, and I just remember thinking if I could do anything, I'd want to play music. And I think that's all the questions we have, and I think that's probably the show for this week.
Yeah, so that's live from the loft. What we want you to do is when you go to bed at night and you kiss your loved one, and we want you to think about that moment in your life when music meant that much to you. It means a lot to us. So we're going to keep doing this. Every single week, we're going to release a new song, a new video. We'll have another. We didn't have one this time. We'll have a guest with us, and this will progress. So we're signing out. See you soon.
Yeah.